Okay. Right, so today we're going to work on the chairs. And if we have time, we'll do the tablecloth right here. So what we're doing is we're closing in into the center of the, into the focal point. For the chairs, I have burnt sienna, burnt umber, and ultramarine ultramarine blue. Ultramarine blue and burnt umber, when mixed together, will give you the dark, almost black for the chairs here, right here. So we're going to start with the left one, and it is going to be a combination of burnt umber and burnt sienna. And I'm using a round brush, but you're welcome to use any brush that you feel comfortable with. I'm just going to take mix both together, and then I can highlight with either burnt sienna only, with a touch of yellow ochre. We'll see how it goes. It depends how much highlight I'm going to need. But for the first layer, it's a combination of burnt umber and burnt sienna. If you can keep the burnt umber showing more, so we have room to add burnt sienna after, it'll be good. I'm going to bring my camera closer to because you don't need to see the whole thing, but you do need to see this right there, right here, and adjust the focus. And here we go. So I'm going to start with this one here. Behind this chair right there, right here, there's a dark patch of the wall behind it, right there. Mm-hmm. So if I put too much burnt umber in my color, I'm not going to see the chair I'm putting right now. So that's why I'm saying keep the color where the burnt sienna, when you mix burnt sienna and burnt umber, keep the burnt sienna showing through a bit. So don't put too much burnt umber. That's what I'm trying to say. Uh-oh. Margaret's having problems again with the internet.
I like working with my little 8x10 canvases. They're so easy to move around.
Yes, that's what I work with, 8x10. They're so good to work with. Okay, so now I have a first layer, and it looks like a chair. Now behind this chair, there are other chairs. There's another one. So I need to add a couple of lines in the back, but those lines should be dark. It shouldn't be the same color. So to darken, I'm going to take burnt umber, and I'm going to add a touch of burnt ultramarine blue, and the touch, not much. You don't want it to turn black. You want you want your burnt umber to go dark. And there we go. That's good. I am going to put one here. Actually, I'm going to change one. I'm going to change to a smaller brush so I can control the line. Sorry, I have to remove this. Okay. All right, let's take this. So burnt, you can take just the same combination that you had before, which is burnt umber and burnt sienna, and add ultramarine blue. So this way, when we put the color, the other part of the chairs behind it, they will look like they're in the back, not on the same level of the one in the front. Now we're not going to put too much, just a couple. We don't need to.
I'm going to say goodbye.
Oh, it's not working, your internet.
I don't
Okay.
know if you can hear me, but I'm saying goodbye. I have to do the song.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, Margaret.
Hi, Margaret.
Hopefully it works next week.
Frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
Hmm.
Okay, now let's put one here. So now we can kind of have a hint of chairs in the background, right? In the back behind this, the one in the front. Once we do this, we're going to take burnt sienna only, or I can give you a couple of minutes. Would you like a couple of minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, sure, no problem. I'll just pause a bit. I'll pause. All right, let's work on the chair, on the table leg, the leg of the table right here. Right here. So if you put the color and you cannot see it.
What color are we using?
Brown. Just burnt umber. Just put burnt umber in there. Yeah, yeah. For this one here. This one. Because you can see in the reference, you can see the table, like you can see the leg of the table, the wooden leg, and it has a bit of highlight on it. We're not highlighting yet, but we are going to be highlighting once we start, once we finish putting all the main colors. Okay, once you do this one here, burnt umber is good. If you find that the burnt umber is blending in with the background too much, darken your background. So darken your background meaning add ultramarine blue and burnt umber and paint this inside so you can see the chair. If you are okay and you can see the chair and you can see the leg of the table, let's move on to the one next to it, and it's going to be burnt umber with a touch, a little bit of burnt ultramarine blue. Okay, not much, just a bit. And we're going to paint this chair. I know there's like a hump in here in the center of this chair. I'm gonna ignore that. I'm just gonna paint straight back. I will have to adjust the height here eventually. Those chairs, even in the area where there's shaded areas, are still kind of brown. So the reason I'm saying this is if when you mix your color with ultramarine blue, don't put too much ultramarine blue because you still want to see the brown of the chair. And also, the more you go down, so the upper part, you will see a little bit more brown. Once you start going to the lower part of the chair, this is where it becomes darker. So that at this point, we can add a bit more of the ultramarine blue or just keep it just the way it is, doesn't matter. No need to be that detailed. I personally can hardly see what's going on behind this chair right here. So, which is good because I don't want to go into details because I can see that probably what's happening there is that we're seeing her legs or something in there. So I don't want to do this. I like the idea of I'm not seeing detail. So I'm just going to, I'm going to darken this part with more ultramarine blue and burnt umber. And kind of when you do this, don't lose too much the, I'll show you how we can figure out what's happening there, like what to do. So this is not a block once we start highlighting. All right, now pause. Shall I pause?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's work on the tablecloth on the other side. For this, I am going to take burnt umber, if you want, just burnt umber. It doesn't matter what the, let's kind of say tablecloth ends here. And let's put another leg. All right, now behind this leg, we're going to mix burnt umber and ultramarine violet to make a dark brown. And just add this right here.
That's with the blue added, right?
For the back, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just filling it in with the darker purpley color.
It's ultramarine blue.
And burnt umber.
Yes, and burnt umber. Yes, yes, that's what we're doing. Now, for the chair on the left, we're just going to use burnt umber and ultramarine blue. Not much. When I say ultramarine blue, it's always burnt umber more than ultramarine blue. Kind of we want to keep everything showing as brown, dark brown.
I guess I have to make up some more of the purpley blue color for the bottom to correct things.
There's no purple at all.
Oh, whatever the pavement to the ground is there.
Oh, yes, the Prussian Blue and burnt umber.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do this. Sorry, Mary, but we can do this after if you want.
Oh.
Yeah, I will have to do the same. There are some kind of little detail, interesting detail with where I have to use the Prussian Blue, burnt umber, and white. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. If you need to do that, yes. I'm gonna need to do, even with mine, some adjustments because of what's happening behind those chairs. So for now, we're just putting color, and then we can go back and adjust and do some negative painting to adjust whatever we need to adjust in the background.
Okay.
And we really don't need to see details, like a lot of detail in there. So whatever we have, whatever we do is fine for now. Okay, so I put burnt umber on this chair right there, burnt umber and a bit of ultramarine blue on this one too, and the bottom, and I'm going to pause and then we'll start highlighting. All right, now we're going to start highlighting the chairs. And you can see on the side here that, there are some lines and colors and that need to be adjusted a bit, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. That's not a big deal. We'll do that. We'll do some negative painting later on. So for now, let's do, I have yellow ochre here and white. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take burnt sienna, and I'm going to start highlighting these chairs. Let's highlight this one here, just burnt sienna. And the more I go down to the bottom, the darker it becomes. We don't want, let's do here. I'm not covering the whole chair in burnt sienna. I'm leaving some of the burnt umber showing through. The bottom part, same, just kind of a little bit of hint.
Oh, sorry, yeah. What color is burnt sienna?
Burnt sienna, I'm sorry, burnt sienna. Yeah, burnt sienna, yeah.
And just burnt sienna?
Just burnt sienna, nothing else.
Okay, sorry.
But the thing is, no, that's all right. The thing is, I'm not covering all of the burnt umber that I have with burnt sienna. I'm gonna, what I'm trying to do is whatever I see this burnt umber line, burnt umber right there.
Yeah.
I kept it showing. I don't want to cover completely. Now I can take a tiny bit of yellow ochre, mix it with whatever leftover burnt sienna I have on my brush, and try to highlight maybe the top of the chair. The reason I'm using yellow ochre, because if I put white with burnt sienna, it's going to turn into pink. So I'm trying to use yellow ochre for highlights. And it's fine. It's working. So it's good. Not much. We don't need much. Just a couple. Same. I'm going to take, I don't think we're going to use the white, but we'll see in a minute. For the side of this leg of the table right there, let's take some burnt umber, put it in here, and highlight this leg a bit. There. Burnt umber with yellow ochre. The side of this table, the leg, is yellow ochre, and over here, this part, the flat part, is yellow ochre and burnt umber. We're going to do the same with this one. That gives you a hint of this leg, of the table leg.
That's just burnt sienna and yellow ochre?
No, that's burnt umber and yellow ochre.
Yeah.
For this chair here, all we're going to do is highlight the side with yellow ochre, the side of this leg, upper part of the seat, upper part of the slat. I know it's not there, but we're putting this. I'm going to pause a bit so you can catch up. All right, so now we highlighted the chairs. We don't need to highlight more than this. We're going to put a bit of cleaning up behind the chairs. So negative painting, some negative painting. I'm going to take burnt umber. I'm going to clean up this one here. Burnt umber and some yellow ochre. Come here. let's do the same, kind of the same. Let's take burnt umber. And clean up a bit behind this chair. So we don't have to see it kind of like perfectly, but it's nice to clean up after. You don't want something that's messy sitting there. All right, this is good. Not much, just a bit. And also, I'm going to take burnt umber, a bit of ultramarine blue. We could have used, instead of ultramarine blue, we could have used Prussian blue, but and then put another slat right there behind him.
What is that?
Another, like the part of the chair, the chair on the slat,
I see, know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like
the
other side, yeah, the chair back. And I'm going to take a bit of this color, which is burnt sienna, mixed with burnt umber, and just give this on an angle back.
Oh.
On an angle. So it doesn't look like two slats standing there like with nothing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have mine. I don't know if I got enough. Even
if you don't have it, no problem. There's no need to put it. Hint. Just a hint.
Okay.
We don't see it in the reference because there's a backpack. All right. Now I'm going to take some Prussian blue right here. Put a bit of burnt umber in the Prussian blue, so it's not like Prussian blue is very strong. So I'm going to desaturate the Prussian blue by adding a bit of burnt umber, and I could add burnt sienna as well. Burnt umber is good. White, a little bit of white. Come here. Oh, it needs more burnt umber to make it more earthy. Not too light. All I'm doing is just cleaning up a bit, because now I can see that the chairs are here, where the chairs are sitting, and the slats and the legs. And okay, now in the reference you can see their shoes, the sole of their shoes. I'm not sure we need to do this, but if we do, if you want to do that, I would take burnt umber, put a bit of white in burnt umber, just to give it a hint, you know, a little bit of a dark hint of something happening in there. And we can do this. You can do kind of like a line like this, and another one that's kind of like this. So if you want to do that, there's no, her shoes right there. I can see that she's, and then one like this here, straight. Just kind of something happening in there. It doesn't, and again, you don't really have to put it. If you don't want to, it's fine. It doesn't make a big difference. It's just kind of, if you find that this area is too dark, and you want to do, you want to put something in there, you could do this. That's what you can do. You can do a hint of their shoes. Maybe not.
I don't think I'm going to.
I think I'm going to remove them. I liked it the way it was before better. Even if it's dark. But actually there's no need for this. You know what I would do though? I would take the color of the ground there, and add what I like. I like this kind of little bit of a hint of, oops, blue, earthy blue. Here, where the chair is, right there, and here, like this. I like this better. Like I like it this way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just a little bit, because it's kind of a separates that dark from the chair, from that dark, this dark background. All right, good. All right, now the other thing we can do now is the tablecloth. Let's take the Prussian blue, and I'm going to put tiny bit of burnt umber in it, and white. I'm gonna have two colors of the Prussian blue. One color, one layer that has just Prussian blue with a bit of burnt umber, and the other one will have, I will add white to the other color, to the other layer. You'll see in a minute. So the first one is Prussian blue for the tablecloth with a bit of Prussian blue and burnt umber.
One burnt umber.
Yeah. Touch of burnt umber. Don't put too much. You don't want it to be dark, very dark. What you want to do is just desaturate the color a bit, so it doesn't look too strong, too turquoisey once we add the highlights. Now I can take a bit of white the top of the table is so light from the sun. I'm going to add more white to the Prussian blue and burnt umber, a lot of white, because it's going to dry darker. And I'm going to highlight the top of this table to give the illusion of a strong light. And we can take it to the back, just like that. Actually, you know what? Just go like this. Don't worry about what's on it. And now here too. This is so harsh because, you know, it dries darker, so. Okay. And it doesn't have to be exactly the same darkness that you see in the reference. We can highlight this a bit if it looks too harsh. Okay. Always the bottom part of anything here is, you can see that it's really dark in there. So the value has to follow. If we have dark happening here, then the bottom of the tablecloth should be dark too. We're good. We're done for today. I'm gonna pause. Okay, we're done for this week. So next week we'll continue working on the people sitting around the table.